Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is the weekly astrology and tarot forecast for Monday, February 28th through Sunday, March 6th. So I'm going to take you through each day of the week so that you know what's up with the energy, what's going on, what's happening. And so it looks like in the beginning of the week, we're going to feel, it's going to be a little difficult, we're going to feel a little unsupported. Like I said, last weekend, not so hot, you know. And then we have a beautiful new moon in Pisces that's going to reset the energy. We're going to feel the love, going to feel a lot better, have some emotional breakthroughs. We also might have some dark secrets coming up for this week. So crazy. And we may be glossing some of that stuff over just to keep the peace. So I'm going to walk you through, like I said, each day of the week so that you can figure out what's happening, figure out like, you know, am I going insane, or is there something like in the chart that explains it? And probably usually there is something that explains it. And then at the end, I do a tarot card reading to just get, you know, an idea of like what kinds of situations are coming up, and also the advice on like specific advice on like how to handle it, how to handle the energies. So stay tuned for that. And if you don't know me yet, you're new to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister. I'm a professional astrologer and tarot card reader. And on this channel, I, you know, talk about tarot and astrology, spirituality, like things that I think are cool that I want to teach you about. So I do this weekly forecast every single week on every single Sunday to get you prepped for the week. And also I put timestamps. So even if during the week you're like, you know, like, I don't know what was happening for Monday or what was happening for Wednesday, you can always like bookmark, come back to this video and click on that day, like when you're in the day, when you're going through it. So if you want to, you know, check me out, see who I am, what I'm up to, more about me, you can go to my website, valentinelister.com. You could book a reading there and whatnot. Okay, so let's get into it. So for Monday, February 28th, maybe a difficult Monday. We might have some like snappy and harsh types of communication. We may feel somewhat of an emotional breakthrough, like in the morning or early in the day, depending on your time zone, but it may be volatile, a little volatile. Because we have the moon squaring Uranus. So it's like freedom type energy, but with Aquarius, sometimes it's like communication that can be polarizing. And I'm thinking it's that because even later in the day, the moon is going to conjunct Mercury. And so whenever the moon makes an aspect to Mercury, our communication tends to be influenced by our emotions, and we're not really thinking very clearly or rationally, the way that like Mercury like really prefers to. Like Mercury can't see, he's like drinking or something, he can't see clearly. So we're being influenced by our emotions, and we're feeling also oh, and also the moon's making an aspect to Saturn, so it's like really rigid and harsh. This is not like touchy-feely energy, and it's in that fixed air sign. So we're talking about like ideas, beliefs, things we believe through our like thinking ability. You know, like, yeah, beliefs, and like the way that we think that we should live our lives, and, you know, demanding the freedom to be able to express that. But we're probably going to do it in a way that's like really harsh to other people. And, you know, we may be thrown off because over the past weekend, we probably dealt with like literal nightmares or things coming up or fears, you know, because we were in the balsamic moon phase, and then we have these aspects coming through to Pluto. So it's like rough and emotional. So just a possible like volatile Monday, and just really feeling like unsupported, or not feeling a ton of support for like what we feel we should do, or like how we should live our lives, or like how we should structure our lives, because the moon is going void, or in Hellenistic, it's the moon is in those last, is going towards the last degrees. It's also not making any aspects like that night or later in the day for you, depending on where you are. So then on Tuesday, March 1st, after all of that pent up energy, that difficult energy, we finally get to release it, let it out, have a good cry, you know, cry to your friends, cry to your loved ones, cry to the cashier in the store, cry to the lady, on your walk during the morning that doesn't even know you. But we're going to be letting it out hardcore because we have the moon ingressing into Pisces. And so that is the touchy-feely energy that we probably needed on Monday, or maybe we were wanting on Monday. We can finally feel our emotions, and connect with our emotions about what's been happening for us in our lives. We let it out. We feel compassionate. We feel like maybe we were too harsh with people. Maybe we should be more understanding. Because Moon in Pisces is super compassionate, has a lot of empathy, feels the pain of other people. So you may be feeling also a lot more emotional support, like noticing that people are like willing to listen to you and like hear you out. So if people were like too rigid or harsh the day before, Tuesday is a good day to approach people, tell them how you feel, let it out, because the moon's not just going into Pisces, but then it's now in the same house as Jupiter. And so like Jupiter is always this beautiful supportive aspect to the moon. It'll be making a conjunction, later in the week, but just being in the same sign as Jupiter gives the moon like a little more of like a supportive energy, a feel good energy, this feeling of everything's coming together, everything's going to be okay. Let's give each other a big hug. Okay, so on Wednesday, we have a new start, new energy for the month ahead because we have the beautiful new moon in Pisces, which will be like this healing balm for us. It's not going to solve all our problems, but it's going to help. And so with the new moon, we're setting a new cycle like for the month ahead. The new moon tells us what's going to be happening for this month, like what kind of energy we're dealing with. And generally, and so what we're going to be facing, and maybe some of the conflicts we're going to be facing when we get to that full moon, and even how we're going to reflect on it after that full moon energy is over. Hopefully I said all of that correct. But anyway, this is a day where we feel each other's pain. We're going to be making some emotional breakthroughs, maybe in relationship to others, to healing, and also confession. So when we think of Pisces, Pisces is this like receptive, beautiful, like Jupiterian sign. So, it's looking for the best in people, and it's really receptive to like other people's experiences and willing to listen. And I love like Austin Coppock, or I don't know, it could have been Kelly Surtees. It was on the astrology podcast. They talked about Pisces being the confessor, right? So Pisces is like the sign where people like confess their sins. They talk, you can talk to a Pisces, and every time I've had a Pisces friend, like Pisces sun or other placements, it's like they drop everything to listen to you if you have a problem. It's awesome. So it's going to be that type of energy where people are willing to listen to you, and it's going to be really refreshing. But that doesn't mean we're out of the woods with some prickliness, because we do have some harsher aspects. Such as we have Mercury conjunct Saturn coming up during the day. So there may still be like that harsh communication. And it's in Aquarius, so it's not getting support from that Pisces moon and that Pisces energy. Um, so unfortunately, like that Pisces moon is not going to smooth over the moon, and like the new moon is not going to smooth over like every difficulty, every harsh thing, but you'll be able to talk about it to people and get support in another like area in your life, like maybe at work, like your boss is demanding things and you don't agree with it and you don't think you should do things that way. um, but then you like leave work and you call a friend and they're there and you like talk it out with them, or like more likely even you'll just bump into people like that are supportive. Like it's just that kind of like right place, right time energy of like even while you're leaving work, like you hear somebody complain about their boss and you're like really, like yeah, like I'm dealing it with it, my boss, and you just like commiserate together and are able to talk to each other. So it'll be that kind of energy. And there also might be anger like coming out because we have Mars Pluto perfecting with Venus Pluto tomorrow. And so but it's like early in the day. So I'm feeling like we might start to see these like dark secrets like coming up about like actions people have taken for their own selfish interest, like their own security, actions people have taken to divide people, and just like really seeing like the uglier like parts of human nature and really being disturbed by that and seeing that come up. And now, and so we're probably going to have some anger about that. And we also have like a Saturn Uranus contra antitia. So that's a secret opposition. So really trying to break free in an area of our lives. And at this point, it's not even just about like wanting to do things according to our beliefs or how we think we should do things when we had, more of the planets in like Aquarius or even Capricorn. But now we have that we have the sun in Pisces. So it's like at this point, I don't even care anymore about like just putting forth like my opinion and like getting it my way. I want like things to come together. I want people together. I want to feel connected to other people. And I don't want to feel, like things are so divisive, like we're so separated. At a certain point, we have to agree to disagree and come together because it's like the people that are more important. It's a sense of togetherness, a sense of compassion and kindness, like at the end of the day. And that's what's going to end up working. Um, yeah. So, so we may have difficulties coming up and it might be painful, but there is going to be a sense of like compassion, from like some area of our lives to help us through. And we may also feel like, some type of breakthrough energy, even with the sun. It's super early, sun sextile Uranus. So we may feel a sense of freedom and a sense of freedom through that compassion, through connecting with other people, through being open with our emotions. Okay, so one cautionary tale for the month ahead and for this new moon in Pisces is that it's co-present with Neptune. So for me as a traditional astrologer, I don't consider Neptune like the ruler of Pisces. So I'm considering the fact that Jupiter's there to be like this feel-good energy. And Neptune does have, a lot of like, it can have really great effect on people, but it's a planet of illusions or delusion, right? Depending on how you're looking. It's related to dreams and like films and fantasies, right? And you can even think of it as a psychedelic drug or an intoxicating influence where you're not seeing things clearly. Now, if you take like a, psychedelic or something, right, it can have a real benefit to you. Now there's like research that, psychedelics have like an actual like benefit to like mental health, right? And so some practitioners are actually using it in clinics. But we're not taking that experience as reality. We're taking that experience as something that can change your perception to look at reality a little bit more differently and gain perspective on our life. So it's not a state that we're meant to be in. So it can have a distorting influence. And so this month ahead, we're not really seeing things clearly. There's a very intoxicated energy and like this party that won't stop, can't stop, starts to get exhausting. If you ever saw like the Key and Peele like making fun of LMFAO, like this was like years ago, and they were like, don't stop the party, and they're like, now the party can't stop, and now I'm partying like all month long, and I can't stop partying. Like the month ahead has that type of energy, and so even on like the new moon day, it's like Mars on Pluto, near Pluto, is making an aspect to like Neptune and Pisces, a sextile. So it's making me think that, we're having this disturbing information come up, this like hidden info. Maybe it's like nightmarish or it's like scary or creates fear or shame, or even it's something that maybe is a good thing, but it's like, ooh, I don't know if this is okay, right? But when it's making an aspect to Neptune, it's making me think that even that information is distorted. It's like we're thinking, oh, like we figured out the truth and we're seeing this come up and like we're shocked. But then that information is still being distorted as well. So we have to really, I think, be careful to overly trust in the information that we're getting. Um, we're going to really need that skeptic's eye. And I think that's going to be coming up, like that issue is going to be coming up when we get to the full moon in Virgo in a couple weeks. And also, problems are going to be coming up, but this is not the month where we're really going to find, a final solution to that. This is definitely a month that is going to change our perspective on things, maybe help us let loose, and that intoxicating influence, that different perspective, is going to help us moving forward. But I don't think this is the month that we're really going to take permanent action or even practical action. Okay, moving on to Thursday, March 3rd. We're having some dark secrets come up, and that's going to help us bring together. So there's going to be more of like a really disillusioned experience. We have the moon conjuncting Neptune, and that, I mean, it can be dreamy. Maybe it will be dreamy, but some of these other aspects are making me think like this is going to be more of a bad trip. Because we definitely, if we haven't seen them yet, there's some dark secrets coming up about people, right? We got Mars in Capricorn conjuncting Pluto, and then Venus conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn. And so that tends to deal with issues of money, security, our homes, like, like the things we can depend on and rely on, like our partnerships and even relationships that we depend on, or the people we depend on for our security, like even work, school, mentors, like the people who are structuring society and leading us. So we're learning that people have been doing things to like serve their self-interest or their own security or their own pleasure, and they're not looking out for us. Like they're not. And so it is perhaps affecting our ability to make money, or our ability to like take care of our homes, keep a home, like buy food, like our security things, our basic comforts, our basic security. And so it's bringing community, but in a very disillusioned way, because that moon in Pisces, that's pretty strong. We just had that, we're still in this new moon phase. So like we're being brought together, but we're feeling like we're oppressed. So it's kind of tough. Like we're really upset about it. We're really emotional, and like we're not at the point where we really know what to do. I mean, maybe it will be volatile. Maybe we'll take action. But it's just like there is going to be a sense of togetherness, but it's not really in like the most pleasant of circumstances. Okay, and then by Saturday, by the weekend, we're like, screw it. It's just screw it energy. Like I just don't care. I'm just going to get together with the people I enjoy in life. And it has this really like rebellious energy. The moon is sextile to Saturn, and it's going into Aries. So feisty Aries who's like, I'm just going to go out and have fun. I'm going to talk shit about people I don't even care. Like I don't care. Like I thought the best meme I've ever seen, it was on, I love the Instagram. I don't go on Instagram a lot. I did make that video on social media. But I used to scroll it more on occasionally. I look at her, her page to see her memes, and it was Aries was like, I feel like being a bitch today because I don't care, right? And I was like, you know what? Sometimes that's Aries energy, and Aries can be super loving, but it is ruled by Mars. So, it's open to conflict. It's open to like, let's go. You got something to say? I'm ready for you. But that fighting energy can pass just as quickly as it started, especially when it's in the moon. And it's more of a feel-good energy because we have this beautiful Sun Jupiter cazimi in Pisces. So it's just like going to be a beautiful day with cazimi. Is like, I feel like it's always clear energy, a clear day. The sun is like exalting Jupiter, and it's in its purest form. It's like its best self. It's gotten into the sauna, it's gotten its bath, it's gotten its massage, and it's like, I'm feeling good. I'm Jupiter, and you're going to see like the purest form of like Jupiter in Pisces and what it's all about. So it's a beautiful day. You're going to feel like life is about connecting with people, empathy, and compassion. So it is going to be interesting because, like I said, we do have like this feisty energy and feisty communication. But it may be more take on like a more jovial aspect. Like you're in people's faces. But then it ends up being like maybe something starts off like a little bit feisty or is like snappy or whatever. Like you get up in people's faces and then you give them a big old hug. Like then you end up connecting with people. Um, and really feeling their energy and feeling good and connected with them. And so like everything gets smoothed over, or you're like they're like, I feel like fighting with people too. I feel like being feisty too. And you just bonds with people and just talk to people like anybody, like, and you might see people just like hanging out, talking to each other, bonding in groups, and just like kind of having that happen naturally versus having it be forced, or and just people being for you, there for you at the right place and time when you need them. And you know, like any difficulties coming up, we're going to be able to deal with it, even though we will have some, might have some difficult energy coming up by the end of the day, maybe because we have the moon squaring Pluto. So maybe some more bad news or hidden things or fears coming up about like money and security, maybe feeling unsupported, maybe feeling that kind of like being held down, held back, maybe. But I'm feeling like the vibe of this day is really joyous, and we really are able to fight through like any problems that we have. So I'm feeling like overall it will be a good day, but there may be some things coming up that aren't so great either. Um, but we're gonna find out the meaning of life today. I feel like on Saturday that getting together with people and connecting, so it's all good. All right, and then on Sunday, March 6th, I'm not sure whether we're gonna be social or just want to take a nap or both or what, because um we have the waxing crescent moon in Taurus. So waxing crescent is kind of like, all right, I know we have to deal with something, like things coming up, right? We got like some bad news, maybe you know, around that new moon time or before the new moon, it's like, I know we have to deal with this, but I don't really want to. Do I have to? And it's in Taurus. So, Taurus moon is not necessarily about like, let's deal with all our problems. It's like, how can we just like not deal with it and relax and, um, you know, just like comfort ourselves. Like, comfort ourselves. If it's bad, let me get a snack. Let me take a nap. Let me just like, I don't know, maybe get together with a friend, or I don't know, go shopping, buy some nice lotions, or whatever the Taurus moon wants to do, whatever they feel like doing. But then we have Mars ingressing Aquarius and we have Venus ingressing Aquarius. They're going together. So, and they're going to conjunct. So it's like, you know, it's great. We have an empowered Venus and we have a Mars who is enjoying things that are beautiful and pleasurable. So we've had like Mars and Venus together for a little bit now, and it's out of Capricorn. So Mars is not like as effective in a like it's like so it's got come out of its sign where it's like had a lot of dignity and it's exalted. So it's like in a good dignity. But we have a more social Mars, more talkative, like, let me tell you what I think, let me do things my way, let me tell you your ideas, and can be a little more objective. And then we have Venus, who's also going into Aquarius. So, like, finding real beauty in, like, hearing everybody's opinions, trying to weigh out what everybody thinks. We may still really hold on to, like what we think should happen with things, but, um, we're willing to hear other people's opinions and accept them for who we are. It's a really charitable energy. So kind of nice, even though it's not making a direct aspect to like the sun in Pisces. Um, I still feel like like, Aquarius energy does have the thing of like, well, what do people need? Like in my community or in my society, and like what can I do to like help them out, right? And can be selfless in that way. It's less of a touchy-feely energy than Pisces, but it is like, okay, like where do I need to be? Like what do I need to do? And so thinking more like objectively and like rationally, and also being more social. So yeah, so I don't know, you might want to go out and be social with people, or just do an activity earlier in the day and then take a nap later in the day. I'm a big fan of naps. If you haven't heard me talk about nap enough, I totally am a fan. So it is also a day where things might be getting glossed over. I guess it's the weekend. We're not really dealing with our problems. We just want to enjoy our life and the people around us. It's very like, we have the sun directing us in our like where we're moved to be. And so it's like I just want to enjoy people. I just want to connect with people and connect with friends, connect with my emotions. Even if you're not such an extrovert, maybe you want to stay in and connect with your emotions, really enjoy like the beauty of things and like your hobbies, enjoy like physical things that are comforting. But there is this energy of things getting glossed over or ignored that maybe we need to deal with to keep the peace. Because dark secrets came up earlier in the week, but it's like never mind. Like stop bringing the energy down, stop making it low vibe. I just be grateful for what you have. um you know like let's evolve, let's rise above it. So it really has this like even like thinking like spiritual bypass or like that type of energy where it's like just be positive, like let's not deal with it, let's not talk about it too much, like let's just enjoy life. Like, enough already. Enough complaining. Okay, guys, time for the reading for the week to actually tell us, like, what is the situation that's coming up for us? What do we do about it? What advice? What's the outcome gonna be? Let's get the scoop. Let's get the deal. What is going on? Okay. All right. Interesting. I'm seeing this advice come out, which I think is interesting for like that fantasy world, like intoxicating influence energy that I was talking about. It's like dealing with life as life is, because I don't know, I'm just gonna go straight to the advice, then get into the situations. It's like deal with life as life is. So grounding yourself, like getting connected, getting together. Okay, so the overall energy of the week is the Ace of Pentacles reverse. So definitely situations coming up that deal with our material security, our goals, life goals for like money, career, like our security, you know, like relationship security, even like put a ring on it type energy. Fertility, issues of fertility and growth, and just going on the path of where you want to go, like climbing that mountain. Ooh, I'm thinking even like health matters, just like having that just stomped on, like your health stomped on, your ideas for growth and fertility stomped on, your pure idea of what your life was going to look like, when you went to school, when you're like working hard to get them grades, be successful. That's over. Like you're that illusion of what you thought, it's over. But there is disillusionment. So there's always like a sunny side to that, like a sunny upside to things getting torn apart. If you have something taken away from you, that means something better is coming. And like now you got to listen to me because we're in Pisces season where we've got Jupiter in Pisces supporting that beautiful sun and that beautiful moon when it does make the new moon in Pisces. Like you got to listen to me. Door closes. The one that you were supposed to go to, it opens. But it hurts. It sucks to have like that idea of what we thought our life was going to be taken away from us. But trust me that as someone who has had a lot of dreams crushed after trying them, a better one will come along. Like literally, like if I didn't have some of my dreams stomped on, I wouldn't have like found out, I wouldn't have become an astrologer, I wouldn't be doing these readings and make this YouTube channel, which is like this is what I've wanted to do my whole life, like this is what I love. But I had to have a lot of like my ego crushed before that. So that's this type of energy. Like don't worry, there will be support. Like this is not a time where it's doom and gloom. Like this is the time to like look at that bright light, look like be optimistic. Don't get down. There's people around to support you. Even if it's just like in an emotional sense, but like we can't even downplay that emotional sense, because like making connections with people is going to lead to your security ultimately, and be able to help you like on your way to supporting your dreams. This is a time to like release those emotions, let them go, connect with the people you love, and really look at the bigger meaning of life, like the bigger perspective of life, and see where this comes in as far as supporting you in wisdom, in attaining some wisdom over life. And guys, like, we look up to a lot of people. I listen to a lot of gurus, or I listen to less of them. I listen to just the core people that I think like keep it real, keep it honest, and I think are genuinely wise and not saying they are. And a lot of people who are giving life advice are not the people we want advice from. Even like, okay, I'm gonna bring up like there's this. I'm so into dark stuff. I got Jupiter in Scorpio, so I like to listen to. There's a channel like on this person who's like a sociopath, and I look into like sociopaths, right? And she's like, "This is the advice I would give you for excelling in your career," and it's like all the advice she gave was like legit advice that I've got from like when I was going through school and like working on a career and trying to be successful. It's like giving recommendations to like just network with people, because eventually like they could help you succeed in the future. Like instead of like just genuinely connecting with people just because you like them, just because you have a genuine connection, and like that will help you, of course, right? Because like it's just like that would be like the more Jupiterian energy, but just like making like relationships like they're just so empty and like just for like your own profit, and just like make yourself invaluable. And like if you're even like stay angry about things, like keep your anger and be it's like and destructive and be divisive, and it's like if you're angry, fight for it, and it's like there's times for this. I'm not saying there aren't times like in life where like that might be the right move to make. I'm not making a judgment on that, but what I'm saying is like my point was, long story short, was that the people sometimes that we're getting advice from that we think have it all together, they don't. And I'm thinking about like I listen a lot to Michael Singer, who I think is amazing. And he actually did have a successful career by accident. It wasn't something that he tried to do, but he ended up like programming computers way early and making software and building homes and stuff before he wrote the Surrendered Experiment, The Untethered Soul. And he was like, he knows a lot of rich people, and he knows people in prisons. Like, he used to go and minister. And he's like, there's a lot of rich people who commit suicide or who are incredibly depressed or incredibly miserable. And you would think they have it all. They have enough money to make each day like the way they want. And guess what? They're not happy. So, you know, like let's be skeptical of like that life advice we've been given, and really work on getting clear on ourselves, like being at peace with ourselves and the way we are, and like letting it go, and just like having fun with life, like having an experience. That's what this month is going to be all about. Like having an experience to just dive in and experience life like a child, just being like, this is so cool. This is a temporary experience. There's a lot of interesting things that happen, even if they're dark. They're like fun and interesting. Like, hey, people go to, watch horror movies. People like to get slapped around for pleasure. Like, it's like, we like maybe take the judgment out of it and just be present with it, and, have some more trust in like that. If we calm down and clear our minds and just relax, like we're going to know what to do. Like if we work on our meditation practices, working on, being good to ourselves, good to our bodies, being compassionate and nurturing, we'll know what to do. So the situations that might come up. Uh, we have Venus, or this is like Nine of Pentacles represents Venus in Virgo. So it's like too busy, too independent, trying to take on too much. Okay, so we're going to need to come up with a plan. Um, yeah, so we're going to get a message like about like information coming up where it's like, oh crap, we have to take care of something. And we're kind of left in the dust. We're on our own and rethinking our strategy and kind of taking a pause. Um, And I feel like the situation coming up, like, crap, we have to figure this out. Like, what are we going to do to support ourselves, like financially or money wise, like maybe even travel. But I'm getting this energy that we're tired. We're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just think about it, figure out a solution, but maybe taking on like too much of the burden of that instead of asking for help. Um, and yeah, I feel like this just, I'm just getting the energy that maybe we've exhausted ourselves and it's like this exhausting energy and, we're trying to do too much. And then the world we have as the advice, as I mentioned earlier, and that's like dealing with life on life's terms, but also having the wisdom to see the bigger picture as we're going through life, like making sure, like I said earlier, to center ourselves, ground ourselves. And that comes back to the practice of meditation. So we're not going to meditate all day, right? But just having some time where you clear your mind and you're quiet. And there's so many ways that you can get into a meditative state of, like, doing a mantra over and over and seeing how your mind flips out, but deciding to go back to that mantra. There's like, you can look at a candle, you can like sit in the bathtub, play music, take a walk outside in nature, and just like, um, count to 20, then restart. And then when you know, lose count, go back again. But, there's all types of like meditation type of things. But the point is, um, that we can't just be so harsh and rigid about how we're doing things, but really like pulling on whatever our spiritual or wisdom practice is and seeing things from a higher perspective, a clear perspective, to be able to deal with things. Like try to look at the bigger picture that this is like one storm in our life, whatever comes up, also, and also the wisdom of connecting with other people to get advice, that we're never really doing things on our own. Like we do have support coming from the universe, but when we're so wrapped up in our fear, and terror, we can't see that. We literally can't like see, like, for okay, so I had a good example happen this morning. Like, so like in the morning, I usually do some type of spiritual practice, right? And so sometimes I take a walk, sometimes I do yoga. This morning I just did yoga. So I was right in the living room, right? And my daughter gets up. Now she can see the living room from where her bedroom is. But she gets scared. Like when she wakes up in the morning, I'm filming this early, so I'm filming this like February, and it's still dark in the morning. And so she comes out and she's terrified, right? So I'm doing my yoga and I'm wondering if she's going to see me and come out to me. Well, no, she doesn't see me because she is terrified. So she does what she normally does. She gets up, she gets like her stuffed animal, she closes the door, and then she runs into my bedroom, right? Which is like, like the close by before you get to the living room. She runs straight to the bedroom. She never even notices that I'm sitting in the living room, right? Because she's too frightened, like she's too scared. And so that's the energy. Like if we're seeing things from our fear, if we're too frightened, too scared, we're not going to see like the person in the living room, right? We're not going to see that someone's right there to help us and there's a solution right there. So really working on your fear and anxiety when it comes to dealing with like whatever, like even the practical issue is, um like you have to suspend disbelief and say like you don't actually need to be afraid of it. The only fear is that things aren't going to work out the way you wanted them to. And guess what, things are never going to work out the way that you want them to. There's always going to be kinks in our plans, from the universe to get us to stop getting so like rigid on how things need to be, and to really see like that divine intervention that we are supported. And it's like a little game from the universe. So really working on that fear, um, like our meditative practices, doing things to nurture our bodies, you know, and whatever practice you do. And, it's just like working on releasing our fear and really suspending disbelief and having trust in the universe. And I think we'll be able to do that. I mean, we have a lot of support. We have a Jupiter Kazemi. But just like this is just saying that you have permission to let go of that fear of what's going to happen, that you don't need to worry, that you're going to be taken care of. And yeah, so um yeah, oh, okay. And also like, yeah, why they're coming up too. It's just like the issues coming up, it's related to a person. Like it's related to our relationship with a person. This person came up, I feel like it came up for the last reading, the Page of Cups. Like that person not there to support us, that's kind of in la la land. And maybe they're coming through, right? Like they're, I don't know, or like, yeah, I feel like the ship is going to sail in. Like maybe they're going to be coming through. Like they're just, hmm. Okay, what I'm getting is like they have had the energy to like take care of themselves, to nurture their emotions, look inward, and really have had this period of growth. Um, or maybe they're seeing things differently this week and you are connecting with them and talking with them, communicating and connecting emotionally with them. Um, yeah, and so on emotional level coming up. So maybe it's just like things that have happened in the past that have really put a kink in your plan for like physical security. But this week you're gonna feel like that emotional security, and that's gonna be helping like things in the long term for like your relationship, your physical security, feeling grounded and protected. And then the outcome of the week, we got, yeah. So I was saying from Saturday, there might be some prickly energy. So we have the Knight of Swords type energy. So it's like fighting words, like prickly energy. But no, it's not prickly. This is good. I mean, I feel like it's like vital energy. Okay, it's like fighting for the people that we love by the end of the week. Like really seeing that in other people, like seeing people fight for people that they love and really protect them and like have compassion for them. um yeah, and I'm just like getting from this card that it's not just one person like that we're seeing like come through for us. Like we're seeing this in a lot of people. I'm feeling like this like abundant, like seeing like multiple like people just really not being afraid to communicating, really being able to fight for what they love and the people they love and fight for compassion in their relationships. So this really nice energy. It's like letting go of the fear of living. Um, is just like this overall energy that I'm getting. So that's what I have for you guys. I'm gonna take a picture of these cards so that you have the images to reflect on, and I will leave some videos at the end that I think you guys will like. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.